Hey everybody! Well, as you can see, I'm not in LA right now because of what's happening behind me here. It's been a little tricky for all of us, myself included. As you know, I just recently moved to LA, but I'm currently stuck in Chicago, and I've been here stuck for the last 3 weeks. That would be bad enough if it weren't for the fact that the rest of my family, who had originally been on a short trip to South Carolina while I was supposed to be in LA, are now stuck on a long trip in South Carolina, while I'm stuck here at home where they would have been had they not been on their short trip. So basically, I'm conducting both my comedy career and my family life over the internet right now, and it's been pretty tricky. I'll say that. I guess I'm worried about a lot of things. One of the things I'm worried about is just the fetishes that might come out of this thing. This is weird, but I had a sex dream last night, and at some point the girl I was with had like a mask on. And then at some point she was like, hand me the ventilator. And then I was like, that's not what a ventilator is supposed to be used for. Anyway, it's just got really weird. And I don't know, you know, anyway, I don't know what to say about that. So, yeah, I see someone with a mask on. I'm just like, why am I aroused right now? So, again, a little concerned about those types of things. Let's talk a little bit about the quarantine now. I'll be honest with you, I'm not really in favor of it. I don't think I don't think this should be happening. I think, you know, it should be life as usual, except for those who are vulnerable. I think they should be quarantined, and then we should just help them out, buy their groceries and stuff like that. But, you know, that's my opinion, and I'm not going to enforce that. I'm going to obey the rules that we put in place because, you know, it's a democracy, it's majority rule, and besides, if I'm wrong, the stakes are a little too high. So that's just my personal opinion at this point. I know a lot of people are arguing against the quarantine because, well, they're blaming it on crashing the economy right now, and I don't think that's fair to blame the economy crashing on the quarantine. I think the economy is crashing right now because it sucks. It's not working, and it hasn't been working for a long time. This is the end stages of what capitalism truly looks like. You know, and you know, the things we have to realize is that we're in this state right now because we're operating in a purely capitalistic system. And a purely capitalistic system is as bad as a purely socialist system. Both systems will fail us in exactly the same way because they're both, in their extremes, about concentrating power into the hands of a very few people. The main difference is in socialism, you get that the moment it's in place. Capitalism, it takes a while to get there. But we get there eventually, and for those of you who don't believe me, just crack out the Monopoly board. Shouldn't be too hard to do. You got lots of time right now, and pay attention to what happens in the game of Monopoly. It's fun in the beginning, right? Because the Monopoly board is pretty much pure capitalism, except for the free parking. But that's pure capitalism, right? And it's fun in the beginning. You know, capitalism is fun in the beginning, in the early stages. All the land is up for grabs. Everyone's got the same amount of money in front of them. You know, and you roll the dice, it's fun, you know, you buy St. James property, maybe you pick up Kentucky Avenue, a railroad, then you pass go and you collect $200. Isn't capitalism fun? But it changes, slowly but surely, as each time you go around that board, capitalism gets closer and closer to its extreme position. And its extreme position is one person controls everything. Everyone else is bankrupt, right? And that becomes evident as you go around that board. Eventually you come to that observation that you are not going to win. The winner is the one who has Pennsylvania Avenue and Boardwalk and all those properties, you know, and they're about to put up hotels, right? And so that's eventually, you keep going around that board and you start studying, the back of the mortgage rate on your property cards, and eventually you get to that point where you're so broke you can't even afford a night stay at a hotel on Baltic Avenue. And so that's kind of what we're seeing right now. We're just seeing this kind of this economy in free fall right now. Right now we're just seeing the effects of a very poorly run, corrupt economy. There's no way we should be in this amount of trouble 2 weeks into the quarantine. And yet here we are, everyone and their grandmother asking for a bailout. These corporations, they should be embarrassed. They should be. We should put them all in a room, all the heads of all these corporations and all these economists and just who advocated for the system we're now living with, and just put them all in a big theater and just have Sebastian Maniscalco come out and just ask them over and over again, aren't you embarrassed? Just have him do that for about 45 minutes and just sort of look at him, the way he does. So yeah, I don't blame the quarantine for tanking the economy. I blame everyone who's taken us to this point. All the corruption, all the politicians, all the corporations, the Steve Mnuchins, the Hank Paulsons, all these people who have taken control of our economy and created this over-leveraged economy we have. That's the reason. We should be able to employ these. We should be able to enact these emergency plans, even if they're slightly misguided, and I don't particularly agree with them. We should still be allowed to sort of implement them without too many consequences. But that's just not the case. It's just not the case. And instead, we have an economy in free fall, and hospitals that can't even find the supplies they need. How is that an economic system to be proud of? A little crisis and everything falls apart? Are you kidding me? Anyway, I think that's really the big lesson learned here with this whole quarantine. Is not necessarily that we weren't planned or that we're not enacting the right solutions. It's that how much consequence any of our solutions have to the economy, And so, anyway, just my thought. I need some shampoo. I bought all this toilet paper and I forgot to get shampoo. If you have shampoo, I don't even use that much toilet paper. I don't know what I was thinking. I don't. I usually time my craps right before a shower. In the morning, I get it all out then, and then bam, into the shower. No toilet paper needed. I have some wet wipes too, in case, because toilet paper really doesn't do that good a job for me. I'll be honest with you. All right, little TMI right there on the TP. Anyway. I just want to let you know that I'm still here. I'm looking forward to getting back into the comedy clubs and posting the videos. I'm trying to put out stuff right now. I don't know. I'm not used to the whole I don't typically use social media to get comedy out. I usually, just do it on stage. So this is kind of good. This is kind of getting me to use social media or try and use social media a bit more. And we'll see. Hopefully I'll get better at it because of this quarantine and not rely strictly on the live performances to get my comedy out to you. We'll see. But anyway, thanks for watching. We'll keep you updated. Hopefully we'll get back to LA pretty soon because right now it's just Derick in Chicago.